Good afternoon, dear students. In our previous session, we studied about moisture, evaporation process, humidity and its two types. That is absolute humidity and relative humidity. Okay, in today's session, we are going to study about clouds and its types. So here, before starting this, we are going to consider two examples, children. Okay, we are going to consider two examples over here to understand the formation of clouds and its types. We need to understand 2-3 points which are related to it. Okay, so we are going to study with the help of example. So here, children, we are going to see when we boil water in a container. Okay, so we are going to take what? We are going to take a container, and in that we are going to boil water. And when the water boils, when the water starts boiling, we observe that we observe that steam coming out of it. Yes, steam comes out of it. Okay, so if we hold the lid at a distance from where the steam is coming, okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to take a lid. Okay, we are going to take a lid in our hand. We are going to keep it at a distance, okay, from where the steam is coming out of it. So what happens here, after few minutes we observe that water changes. Okay, water changed into water vapors. Yes, we observe the steam coming out of it. So what we observe, that the water changes into water vapors after it gets heated. Okay, and this vapor turns into water droplets when it touches the cooler lid. Okay, the lid which we were holding near the vessel. Okay, so what happens here, the vapor turns into water droplets when it touches the cooler lid. So from this we can see that the water droplets deposited on the lid. Okay, you must have seen this. Okay, if you if you boil the water, okay, and after the water is boiled and you cover it with a lid, okay, when you hold the lid again in your hand, you will observe that fine small water droplets near the lid. Okay, so what happens, these vapors, it turns into water droplets. Okay, children, this is our first example. Okay, now what happens next, we are going to consider that we are going to take glass with flat bottom. Okay, we are going to take a glass with the flat bottom and we are going to put some ice cubes in it. Okay, so what happens here is we are going to keep the glass in a room for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so later what do we observe? What we will observe, that droplets of water on the outer surface of the glass. Okay, we are going to observe the water droplets. Okay, see, in 7th standard we have studied this. Okay, in science subject. So here, children, here the water droplets of they are observed on the outer surface of the glass. Okay, so we observe what, droplets of water on the outer surface of the glass. So when the water vapor in the air comes in contact with the cold surface, condensation takes place. Okay, children, the process of condensation. Okay, we have learned this process of condensation since 5th standard. In water cycle we have this. Okay, so condensation is what? Condensation is what? It is a process where, yeah, it is the process of changing of gas into the liquid or water vapors into liquid state. Okay, or in the gets converted into snowy particles. Okay, so here what happens, these droplets form on the outer surface of the glass. So what, from these two examples, what we have studied, in the first example we have studied that the steam from the cooker cooled, and cooker or the vessel which we have considered. Okay, so here what happened, the steam from the vessel or the container, it cooled and condensed into water droplets. And in the second activity we have studied what, the vapor in the air condensed into the water droplets. Okay, children, Yeah. So now we are going to study about condensation or densification and sublimation. So here the process of changing of water vapor in the air into water is called condensation or densification. Okay, the process of what changing of water vapor in the air into water droplet, okay, into liquid is called as condensation or densification. Also, the process of vapor or the gas changing into solid state is called sublimation process. It is called as what? Sublimation process. Okay, so this we have studied in 6th standard, sublimation process and all in science subject. Okay, where the water vapor directly got converted into solids. Okay, now children, moving ahead, if the temperature of the air reduces, okay, if the temperature of the air reduces, its vapor holding capacity also reduces. See children, we have studied this in our lower classes. The more the temperature, the its vapor holding capacity will be more. Okay, so if the temperature of the air reduces, if the temperature is low, the vapor holding capacity also reduces. When relative humidity of the air becomes 100%, okay children, when the relative humidity of the air becomes 100%, vapor starts condensing. Okay, the vapor in the atmosphere, it start condensing, means it start getting converted, okay, into liquid. So at this time the temperature of air should be at dew point. Okay children, dew means what? You must have seen the tiny the tiny drops of water, cool surfaces, okay, at night when atmospheric vapor condenses. Okay, we have seen the dew drops. Okay, so at this time the temperature of the air should be, it should be at the dew point. Okay, the temperature of the surface is cool. What happens here? It implies that from this what we understand, for the condensation process, temperature should be low and relative humidity must be high. Okay children, the temperature for the condensation process to occur, okay, what is important? The temperature should be low and relative humidity should be high. So in the free environment, condensation of the vapor in the air occurs around fine particles such as dust, salt, okay, in the air. Okay, you must have seen in the salt, okay, moisture is observed. Okay, in the salt particles you must have seen that. Okay, nowadays you can observe this. So dew, frost and are the forms of condensation at ground level, while clouds are a form of condensation at higher elevation. So see children, dew is what we know very well. I told you, they are the tiny drops of water which are formed on cool surfaces at night. Okay, and frost is what? It is a deposit of small white ice crystals. Okay, I'll again repeat. It is what? Frost is what? It is a deposit of small white ice crystals formed on the ground. Okay, and fog. We have observed fog, children. Okay, in winter season. Yes, fog is what? It is a thick cloud of tiny water droplets which is suspended in the atmosphere or near the earth's surface. Okay, generally in winter season and all we observe the fog. Okay, so see children, this dew, frost and fog, they are forms of condensation which are occurring at the ground level, while the clouds which are formed, they are the form of condensation process which are occurring at higher elevation, at higher altitude. Altitude means what? The height or the height. Okay, it is occurring at or point in relation to sea level or ground level. Okay, so now moving ahead, we are going to study clouds and its types. Okay, so we have seen that clouds are a form of condensation which are occurring at higher elevation. So now this condensation, okay, this condensation occurs around minute particles which are present in the atmosphere, children. Okay, so this condensation, Okay, this condensed water or snow particles in the clouds are very fine. They are very fine and they are almost, they are what? They are weightless. Okay, weightless. Okay, children. So this condensed water and the snow particles which are present in the clouds, they are very fine and they do not have, they are almost weightless. Okay, so because of this, what happens? Because of this less weight and fine particles, the clouds can float in the air. Okay, we can observe that the clouds are actually floating in the air. Okay, yes. So now what happens here is, okay, here in this picture, I'll zoom for you children. See here, the raindrop, maximum diameter of the raindrop is about 5 mm, okay, millimeter. So here, this fine particle and this one, the this one, the big one is what? It is the condensed water particle in the cloud. Okay, these are what? This is our raindrop. Okay, it is of maximum diameter. Its maximum diameter will be about 5 mm, 5 millimeter. Okay, now moving ahead. Children, as we know, we receive heat from the sun. Okay, it is our natural source of heat. So land and water gets heated because of the heat which we receive from the sun. So the air which is near to the surface, it is going to, it gets heated up quickly. Okay, and what happens? And this air, okay, this air rises and becomes less dense. Okay, so air which is near to the surface, it heats up, rises and becomes less dense. Okay, it becomes less dense. So what happens? Hot air, because of this, what happens? Hot air rises up. Okay, see here in our previous classes, you have studied in the weather and climate, we have studied about the 5 elements of the air, of the weather, and all. In that we have studied about temperature. Okay, so because as we know, earth receives earth receives heat from the sun. Okay, so the surface, the earth's surface, first it gets heated up and slowly the heat is transformed in the above layers. Okay, so same here, as it goes higher, so okay, the temperature of the air reduces and the moisture holding capacity of the air also reduces. And we have observed that when we move higher and higher, the temperature of the air reduces. Okay, the temperature of the air reduces and the moisture holding capacity of the air also reduces. The relative humidity keeps increasing, but what happens, children? Here the moisture holding capacity is reduces, but the relative humidity keeps on increasing. Okay, now what happens? The water vapor in the atmosphere, it turns into water and snow. Okay, so the water vapor which is present in the atmosphere, it turns into what? It gets converted into water, into liquid snow particles. So this is what? This is the dew point level of that air in that region. Okay, so when we observe the dew drops, okay, in a region, okay, it the vapor, it gets converted into water and snow particles. Now moving ahead, the level of condensation, okay, the level of condensation process is determined by the water vapor in the air. Okay, the condensation process, it's the level of condensation is always determined by the water vapor which is present in the air. So we have to keep in mind that the freezing point is also dependent on the altitude and the water vapor. Okay, so see the freezing point. Okay, what happens here is when during the freezing point, okay, what it is also dependent on the altitude. Altitude means, again I will tell you, the point in relation to the sea level or the ground level. Okay, it will depend, the freezing point will depend on the altitude as well as on the water vapor which is present in the atmosphere. So because of condensation process, the fine particles of ice and water, they float in the air at a greater height. Okay children, these fine particles of ice and water, what happens? They float in the atmosphere at a greater height. and later what happens, they get accumulated around, they gather around dust particles in the air and become large in size. That is why they, okay, that is why they become large in size, because they get accumulated around the dust particles which is present in the air, which is present in the atmosphere. So this accumulation together is called as a cloud. Okay, children? So the accumulation of the dust particles in the air, okay, and the fine particles, their accumulation together is called as a cloud. So this is how a cloud is formed. Okay, so because of vertical flow of the wind, see children, wind flows in two direction, in two manners, horizontal and vertical. Okay, so because of the vertical flow of the wind, okay, they float in the atmosphere. Okay, what happens, they travel, they float in the atmosphere. So we have observed kite. Okay, we have seen that kite which floats in the air, as it moves higher and higher, the clouds too float in the atmosphere because of the vertical flow. Okay, like a kite. Okay, we have seen how kite actually floats in the air. So like that, as it moves higher and higher, okay, as in the air it moves higher and higher, the clouds also float in the atmosphere because of the vertical flow of the wind. Okay, children? Now, moving ahead, clouds are found at different altitudes. Okay, children, they are found at different altitudes. They are found at different heights. Okay, above mean sea level. See, I have told you it is a point in relation to sea level or the ground level. So here we are considering the sea level. Okay, so clouds which form at greater altitudes are formed from very fine snow particles. So the clouds which are at greater altitudes, they are formed from very small fine snow particles. Okay, the process of evaporation, condensation occur consequently in the clouds. The process of evaporation and condensation, it occurs in the clouds. Okay, consequently it occurs. Specific type of clouds cause rainfall on the earth. See children, the rain occurs because of specific clouds only. Okay, it is not like, if you observe, there are different types of cloud, children. Okay, so rainfall occurs through specific type of clouds only. The proportion of vapor is more near the earth's surface. Okay, as we go higher from the sea level, the amount of vapor decreases, it starts decreasing. Okay, children, it start decreasing. So as we go higher from the sea level, the amount of vapor decreases. It is near to the earth's surface, but when we move above, when we move higher and higher, the amount of vapor decreases. Hence what happens, because of this, the clouds at lower altitude, means the cloud which are at a lower altitude, at lower height, are larger in size. Okay, they are what? They are larger in size, while the clouds at a higher altitude are smaller. See here, I will show you in this picture. Okay, we are going to study this picture in detail, but before that we have to clear two, 3 points, and then we are going to study this picture. Okay. So now clouds are formed at different altitudes in the atmosphere, which we have seen. After observation, okay, we can divide them into 3 categories, main types. Okay, these clouds are divided into 3 main types, and they have their subtypes also. Okay, so these 3 main types, on the basis of their altitude, on the basis of their on the basis of their height above the sea level or the ground level. So the height from the base clouds is taken into consideration. So we are considering from the base, the height of the cloud from the base, from the earth's surface. So if the clouds are at an altitude of 7,000 to 14,000 meter, they are considered as very high clouds. See children, this is the range of the high clouds. So the clouds which are at an altitude of 7,000 to 14,000 meter, they are considered as high altitudes. They are considered as high clouds. And the clouds which are at an altitude around 2000 to 7000 meters, they are considered to be medium clouds. Okay, they are considered what? Medium clouds. And the clouds which are at an altitude less than 2000 meters, they are considered as low clouds. Okay, children, so these are the three main types: high clouds, medium clouds, and low clouds. Okay, so now see here in this picture, you can clearly see that this picture is there in your textbook also. So these are the low altitude, medium altitude, and high altitude clouds. Okay, so see, this is the range. So we can observe the low altitude clouds from the earth's surface, and as we move higher and higher, we can observe the medium and high altitude clouds. Now moving ahead, what are high clouds? We are going to study the characteristics or the features of high clouds now. These clouds are mainly made up of ice particles. So now see, children, how are they made up of? The high clouds, they are made up of ice particles. They are classified into cirrus, okay, cirrocumulus, and and they are considered as, see, they are classified into three categories: cirrus, cirrocumulus, cirrostratus. Okay, now see, what are cirrus clouds? They are mainly wispy. Now wispy means what? They are mainly thin. Okay, they are thin in size. Okay, they are very thin. Cirrocumulus clouds, they look like group of small waves. Okay, they appear as group of small waves, children. Okay, and here cirrostratus, they are what? They are like a bed sheet. Okay, we observe it has wrinkles. Okay, bed sheet with wrinkles. Okay, so they appear such like that. Okay, so high clouds, they consist of three types of clouds in it. Okay, they are classified into three categories: cirrus, cirrocumulus, and cirrostratus. Okay, now moving ahead, we are going to study medium clouds. Now what are medium clouds, children? These clouds include includes altocumulus and altostratus. Okay, altocumulus are in the form of layers. Okay, they are in the form of layers, and they have wave like structure. Okay, children, they appear to be they appear like a wave. Okay, and they are mostly white in color and have a gray shade. Here in this picture you can see that. Okay, they are mostly what? They are mostly white in color, but they have a gray kind of a shade. Altostratus are not very thick. Okay, we can see the sun can be seen through them as if through a milky glass. Okay, sun can be seen through such clouds. Okay, children, so these were the features of medium clouds. Now moving ahead, we are going to consider the low clouds, children. Okay, we are going to consider the low clouds. Now these clouds consist of 5 types of clouds in it. Okay, they are classified into 5 categories. Okay, they are what? Stratocumulus, stratus, nimbostratus, cumulus, and cumulonimbus. Okay, so stratocumulus have layers in it. Okay, children, this stratocumulus, they have what? They have layers in it. Their color is white, okay, to earthy. Okay, it is what? It is white to earthy. Now, round clusters. Clusters means again what? It is what? It is a group. Okay, so round clusters of clouds can be seen here. So, and stratus. Now second one is what? Stratus clouds are also, they also have layers in it. They are kind of a ash colored. Okay, they are kind of a ash colored, and their base is uniform. Okay, it is in uniform, in their base is uniform. Okay, and next one, nimbostratus. It has thick layers, children. Nimbostratus clouds, they have thick layers. They are what? They are gray ash in color, and they cause continuous rainfall and even snowfall. Okay, so see, children, so when you observe such gray ash color color clouds. Okay, they are what? Nimbostratus clouds. Okay, and because of that, continuous rainfall occurs, and sometimes even snow also falls. Here in this picture, I have zoomed for you. You can see how the shape is and how they are gray ash in color. And see, they are the low clouds. Okay, they are at the lower altitude. Okay, children. Now moving ahead, see cloud types according to international classification. There are 10 types. Okay, and they are classified into 3 categories. Okay, high, medium, and low. So high clouds are what? They are what? They are cirrostratus, and cirrocumulus. Okay, see, their general altitude is about 7,000 to 14,000. Next one is medium, altostratus and altocumulus. Their range is from 2,000 to 7,000. And then comes the lower altitude clouds. The lower clouds, they are classified into 5 categories: stratocumulus, stratus, nimbostratus, cumulus, cumulonimbus. Okay, these 3, stratocumulus, stratus, and nimbostratus, they are less than 2,000, whereas cumulus and cumulonimbus, they are what? They are their extent could be variable. Okay, their extent can vary. Okay, it is not fixed. Now, children, we will study the other 2 types. We have seen the three types of. Okay, we are going to see the other 2 types, that is cumulus clouds and cumulonimbus clouds. Okay, so now cumulus clouds, what are the features of them? These clouds are formed extensively from 500 meter to 6,000 meter altitude. Okay, children, their range is from what? 500 meter to 6,000 meter altitude. The vertical flow of the air, okay, when the air moves, it is moving in a vertical manner to the formation of these clouds. Okay, for the formation of these clouds, the air actually moves in vertical manner. These are what? They are huge and dome shaped. Okay, they are in a dome shape. Okay, you have seen there are various monuments who has a dome shape. Okay, like Taj Mahal and all. Okay, they are what? They are in dome shape. They are gray in color. Okay, such clouds are what? They are gray in color. And these clouds are an indicator of pleasant weather. Okay, so see, children, when we observe a pleasant atmosphere, pleasant weather, these clouds are what? They are the indicator of it. Okay, when there is a pleasant atmosphere, we observe cumulus clouds in the air. Okay, in the sky. So the vertical expanse of these clouds increases so much that they turn into cumulonimbus clouds and bring rain. So see, children, what happens? This vertical expansion of these clouds, okay, it increases so much. Because of that, they get converted into cumulonimbus clouds and they bring up rain. Okay, because of this, rain falls. Okay. Now, next and the last part is cumulonimbus clouds. Okay, children. Now, recall 7th standard science. Okay, we have studied in 7th standard. Okay, we have studied the charges. Okay, of the charges which are developed. Okay, positive and negative have studied. Okay, so here we have seen that these cumulonimbus clouds, they carry what? They carry in the upper part, they carry the positive charge. Okay, and what happens here, even in the ground level, there is a positive charge. See, we will study this in detail. Okay, we will see the features in detail. These are what? These are the characteristics clouds which are indicators of thunderstorms. So now see, children, whenever the thunderstorm is occurring, okay, when there is a thundering, okay, we just recall that they are what? They are the cumulonimbus clouds. Okay, these look like huge mountains. Okay, they appear to be like a huge mountain. These are dense. Okay, they are thick, they are dense and dark in color. That is why we observe sudden change in the climate. Okay, we observe climate weather. We observe the weather changes. Okay, we suddenly see that sky appears in dark. Okay, there is thunder accompanied by lightning. Okay, so there we observe thunder with the lightning. Okay, they bring rain with storm and may sometime bring hailstones also. Okay, children, we know hail. Okay, They are what? They are the small. Hails are what, children? Hails are what? They are the small balls of ice that fall from the sky like rain. Okay, so they are what? They bring rain with storms and may sometime bring hailstones. Okay, but such type of rain does not last for a longer period of time, children. Okay, it is not for longer period of time. It is for short duration. Yes, the largest of these clouds bring rainfall accompanied by lightning. We observe that the rainfall occurs with lightning. The top portion of these clouds has an anvil-like shape. Now, what do you mean by, children, anvil? Anvil means horizontally extended upper part. See here, you can see in this picture, here it is the horizontal, okay, horizontally extended upper part. Horizontally extended upper part. Okay. So now here, the top portion of these clouds has an anvil-like shape. The clouds have a positive charge at the upper end and negative charge at the lower end, children. Okay, see here in this picture. See here. The clouds, they have what? In the upper end, they have what? Positive charge. In the lower end, they have negative charge. Okay, and here at the ground level, we experience what? Positive charges. Okay, so now moving ahead, the land below them always has negative charge. Due to the difference in the charges, electric charges are formed and the lightning occurs. Okay, lightning occurs and lightening up the sky for a movement. So this is how we observe lightning in the sky, the positive and negative charge due to the difference in the charges. Okay, okay, children. The air around the lightning arises up because of the heat, and this leads to a large thundering sound. So that is why we hear thundering sound also. Okay. Now, moving ahead, as compared to the other clouds, so when we compare them with other clouds, the raindrops of these clouds are larger, okay? They are larger, and because they move up and down a lot of times, they get accumulated and more water. Okay, what happens? They accumulate more and more water. Okay, so what happens? See, the raindrops of these clouds are larger, and because of that, what happens, as because they move up and down a lot times, more and more water gets accumulated. Drops become larger and larger, and are unable to float in the clouds because of their weight. Okay, children, see the drops becomes what? They becomes larger and larger, and they become unable to float in the clouds because of their weight. So they fall in the form of rain. So this is how the rain falls. This is how the showering is done. Okay, sometimes what happens, the air in the clouds is very cold. Okay, we even observe that the air in the clouds is very cold, and because of this, what happens, these drops freeze and they fall in the form of hail. Okay, children, they fall in the form of hail. Okay, and we observe hailstones. Okay, we observe the hailstones. See here in this picture, you can see that. So see, children, here our chapter, that is humidity and clouds, is over.